Shem Angel 43, Vivalia. Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today. This is Taliesin McKnight, and today we are looking at Shem Angel 43, Vevaliah. This is a Shem Angel associated with peace and war, and also the prosperity of empires. He helps kings to stabilize their faltering thrones. This is a very powerful and mighty angel, and associated with war. Vivalia is of the choir of virtues, according to Athanasius Kircher's Oedipus Egyptiacus, published in 1654. This is one of the virtues. And the choir of virtues govern the cosmos. So a very powerful and mighty spirit. And the divine attribute is Deus Rex Dominator. So each of the 72 Shem angels from Athanasius Kircher's Oedipus Egyptiacus, again published in 1654, which that does not mean that's the origin. It's the earliest written record. These were probably oral traditions. And the whole work was written in Latin. But Deus Rex Dominator, the divine attribute embodied in this angel, is God, the ruling king. Or God, the ruling, reigning king. So again, you get this idea of power. Vevaliah. So this angel actually governs 0 until 5 degrees of Scorpio. Now, I often have recommended this book for the offices. Lazare Lenain's Les Sciences Kabbalistiques. And there are also some things, everyone has their own individual path. And in something like spirituality, we don't want to be too rigidly, oh, that's not historical, so it can't be true. We don't need that attitude. We want to avoid too much rigid dogma. My approach and what I encourage is to not build things up so much in your mind and just be open to having a direct experience. This is magic. This is an experiential practice. That said, we're dealing with a tradition through the centuries. According to Agrippa, the 72 Shem angels governed the 72 quinries of the zodiac. And yet Lazare Lenain tries to fit these into days, with 5 days remaining, which are given to the elements. That's not part of the tradition. And he makes up these Kabbalistic tables, like the 20-minute cycle and all of this stuff, and he gives it as 3 different guardian angels or spirit or birth angels. This is not part of the tradition. Having an angel based on the 20-minute cycle you were born, or every 72-day cycle. So, while being inspired by Agrippa with 3 different types of birth angel, Agrippa has the angel of the... But anyways, and then these sigils, talismans, my thing timed out for a minute. These talismans don't have anything to do with Shem angels. These 72 talismans ascribed to Eliphas Levi, these are taken from the Tol's Grecos Key of Solomon. But I want people to work with this and do whatever finds meaningful. I'm not denigrating any of this. I'm not saying any of this is even wrong. But it's new. And I don't think any one person including Lazare Lenain, should speak for the tradition. but the offices are very useful. So what I like to do, I like the offices from this book, but I like to focus on the classical material when it's available. So Reuchlin's De Arte Kabbalistica, Agrippa's 3 Books of Occult Philosophy, Athanasius Kircher's Oedipus Aegyptiacus, a century later. And then, of course, then we have Lazare Lenain. So I'm not talking bad about the book at all. I even forgot why I got on that theme, but there is some variation in the spelling of the name in Latin, that is what we use in English, Latin letters or English letters. So in Hebrew it's Vav, Vav, Lamed, Yud, He. But the Latin letters, according to Agrippa and Dr. Rudd, it's Vevaliah, Vevaliah, Vevaliah. Although Lazare Lenain has Veualiah. Yeah, Veualiah. Veualiah is what Lazare Lenain has. But Agrippa and Dr. Rudd have Vivalia. So that's what I use here. Again, it's up to your own individual interpretation. And I want to make clear, nowhere in my videos am I saying one way is right or wrong. But I think it's important that people are educated and learn about all of these different nuances, because it's important to know all of these different things. So just because it's in this book doesn't make it true or untrue. But Vivalia, so this Shem angel, again, let me read my own translation from the French. So this genius, this is taken from Les Sciences Kabbalistiques by Lazare Lenain. This genius presides over peace. It's interesting. It's an angel associated with war, and yet it's an angel of peace, an angel prince of peace. So this genius presides over peace and influences the prosperity of empires. It's a very high-level being. Again, the divine attribute is Deus Rex Dominator, God the reigning or ruling king. That's the divine, very high in authority. It's one of the virtues, and the choir of virtues like govern the cosmos. Very high and powerful being, Vevaliah. Anyways, back to this. This genius presides over peace and influences the prosperity of empires. He strengthens faltering thrones and kings. The person born under this influence, the Shem angels are associated with order, a lot of them. And you see a lot of angels have to do with someone in a position of power, that maybe they're like power-hungry people under them, trying to depose them from the throne and take their place. So anyways, back to this. This genius rules over peace and influences the prosperity of empires. He strengthens faltering thrones and kings. The person born under this influence will have the military state and glory. He or she will be constantly occupied with the sciences that are related to the genius of war. He or she will become famous by feats of arms and will win the confidence of superiors by the services rendered. So clearly this is an angel associated with war and peace and prosperity. Now, if you're in the army or something, that can be, pretty clear why you would work with this angel. Also, if you're in a position of power, such as a boss, and you want to maintain your position justly, not over power seeking, but let's say you're a really good boss and people are trying to bump you out of your position because they're the power hungry ones. This angel is very useful to maintain that position of authority, to maintain your position if people are coming at you, and for warfare, which could also be interpreted as competition. Let's say that you've marked your place in this world, and people coming up trying to knock you out of the way, like competition. So that could be a form of warfare. So, as always, I think it's good for people to take a moment and to reflect upon how the office of this angel really fits because what you need. Because you don't want to just ask for something haphazardly. I always say, what do you ask the Shem angels for? Something close to your heart. So it takes a little reflection, and this helps us to build a type of self-knowledge. Few people in this world really know what they want. Instead of burning desire in their breast, they have a series of whims, which are like arrows pointing in all these different directions. They find it hard to move in any one direction because they like this idea, but they like this one. This is one way that working through the offices of the angels is itself initiatic. It brings us to kind of look within. What is important to you? So, some of my favorite Shem angels is where the office is not so clear. How would this fit? So we have an angel of war and of peace, of competition, of maintaining a position, and of prosperity. So, very powerful angel. Very powerful. I always encourage people to reflect a little bit, spend a little bit of time. So, this particular angel, again, this goes back to days, as Lazare Lenain gives, or even in the Divine Kabbalah, into the quinaries of the zodiac. The sun actually entered into Scorpio yesterday. And yet, the Divine Kabbalah says, I'm quoting from Welcome Manuscript 3203. So, Welcome, Wellcome, is the library, or the collection of books. Welcome. MS stands for manuscript, and 3203 is the manuscript number. So there are a ton of grimoires that are not available on Amazon. Where are these authors on Amazon getting these books that they're publishing? They're getting them from digital libraries. People need to become comfortable going through these original texts. That's what I encourage in my videos. Anyways, Welcome MS, that's manuscript. Welcome Manuscript 3203, that's the Divine Kabbalah, says, Vevaliah governs from the 23rd of October to the 27th inclusively. Once again, our earthly calendar is not completely based upon the zodiac. There's a little variation. Actually, the sun entered Scorpio yesterday. But anyways, this Welcome Manuscript 3203. Vevaliah governs from the 23rd of October to the 27th inclusively. The verse from whence is derived his name, I'll get into that again in a minute, is the 14th verse of the 87th Psalm. And I, O God, have cried out to thee, and my prayer went forth to you in the morning. So that is the Psalm verse. And of course, that's using the Vulgate numbering, not from the Masoretic text. The verse from whence is derived his name. Usually, if you look at the Hebrew of the Psalm verse, the three letters of the divine name to which is added El or Yah, the three letters that make up the Shem angel name, should be around a tetragram, or should be prominently placed around the tetragram. That's what it means, the verse from whence is derived his name. The names of the 72 angels of the Shem Ha-Mepharesh are Kabbalistically extracted from three verses in Exodus 14, verses 19 through 21. Each of these three verses has 72 letters. By writing the first verse in Hebrew right to left, the second left to right, and then the third right to left, you get 72 columns. These are where you get the Shem Ha Mepharesh, the extended or expounded name. And by adding El or Yah, you get the names of the 72 Shem angels. And this is what Cornelius Agrippa of Nettesheim writes about in his 3 books of occult philosophy. This is the origin of literally where the names come from. And Shem means name in Hebrew. Shem angel means name angel. So anyways, the names technically come from the book of Shemot or Exodus, and yet also you find these within the associated psalm verse. I talk about this in my videos. I don't think you need to be any one religion to work with Shem angels. I myself am a pagan, and yet I make all these videos on Shem angels. But I think it's important to, the psalm verse goes with the call. It's part of the lore of the angel. So I think of spirit evocation as bringing in a guest. If you invite a guest in, you don't feed them what you like. Let's say you invite a guest over and you serve them a bowl of soup. They may say, well, I don't like soup. And you say, I don't care. It's my house and we're doing soup. And you're like, but I don't like soup. In the same way, my way, there are many approaches. My way is that when you work with a spirit, you work within its tradition, and you respect its tradition and history. That's my way of doing things. So anyways, the psalm verse goes with the angel call, traditionally. And so anyways, I was going to add something to that. So we have so Vevaliah governs war, peace, competition, and prosperity, and helps someone to maintain their position, whatever that may be, or their business, or whatever. It governs 0 until 5 degrees of Scorpio. In Hebrew, it's Vav Vav Lamed Yud He, Vevaliah. Again, there's some variation in the Latin or English letters. Agrippa and Dr. Rudd have Vevaliah, Vevaliah, while Lazare Lenain has Veualiah. Anyways, it's from the choir of virtues, which again are like they govern the cosmos, very powerful beings. And the divine attribute embodied in this angel is Deus Rex Dominator, God the ruling king. Again, a very powerful thing. The psalm verse, from the earliest sources from centuries ago, the psalm verse in the Masoretic text is Psalm 88, verse 14. But unto thee have I cried, O Lord, and in the morning shall my in the morning shall my prayer come before thee. In Latin, which is Psalm 87:14, so there's a difference in psalm numbering between the Masoretic text and the Vulgate or the Septuagint. In Latin, et ego ad te domine clamavi et mane oratio mea praeveniate. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So that is Vevaliah. I really encourage people to work with this angel. If you go to the community section on my YouTube channel, you'll see the sigil, and you'll see all the information collected, along with PDFs of the original sources in Latin and in French, where you can look at these original texts where I'm getting this information. And on Facebook, which is where I'm doing this live right now, I made a post with all the information, along with PDF documents of the scanned documents of the source information. So I encourage people to go back to the sources, not just to use modern books, although there's nothing wrong with that. It's important to have as part of your Shem Angel repertoire. But anyways, yep, so that is Shem Angel 43, Vevaliah. And of course, again, there are many different perspectives on this. Yep, that's pretty much it. So, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate y'all. Y'all are awesome. And we are working this path. We are walking and working. We are walking this path together. Although we may be separated by physical distance, psychically and spiritually, we are united. This angel, you don't have to follow special timing with Shem angels. You don't have to. In Agrippa's three-world model, which his 3 books of occult philosophy are based around, Shem angels are in the super celestial or divine realm of Platonic ideas and forms. They're not governed by the cosmos. It's the other way around. The cosmos is governed by them. So with planetary intelligences, with Shem angel stuff like that, you don't have to be quite so focused on astrological timing as if you're making like a talisman of a spirit of Jupiter or something. But looking out at the cosmos is a type of window. A type of window to take a glimpse into the divine mind. The cosmos, that when the planets align, when things are well placed, it opens up a type of doorway, perhaps within the perception of mankind, that we are able to reflect upon the book of nature, being able to look out at the cosmos as a meditative and contemplative device to help us reach and peer a little bit, bend back the layers and peer into the deepest reaches of reality. So while you don't have to use special timing, in these videos where I talk about the angels, we are following the sun through the tropical zodiac. So the sun during these 5 days is in Scorpio, the 5 degrees, the quinary, the 5 degrees which this angel governs. So right now around the earth, people are starting to work with Vevaliah. Right now, he's said to have a special domain or power. But anyway, so that's it. I hope that y'all work with this angel. Very powerful. And take a little time to think about what you really want. Be careful what you ask for. And really reflect on what's important. What is at the heart? So, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see y'all in the next video. All right. Have a great day, everyone.